Hello, where do I sign up?
Catalog was that
I'm going to the bank to get a loan right now.
it served as a sort of bridge. A bridge between the engineers settling in California and bringing their love of new technology, and the hippies at the forefront of the rhetorical struggle against government tyranny. And during the 60s, this magazine really resonated with this heterogeneous crowd slowly forming around Silicon Valley.
I feel like the thing that you need to understand about Silicon Valley is that, you know, it comes out of the World War II and the Cold War and all of this investment that went into the Bay Area and some other hubs around the United States for World War II, for the Cold War, for the United States to like challenge the Nazis and then the Soviet Union, right? And so what they needed was, you know, to develop their technological capacities and their defense technologies in particular. But around the time of the Vietnam War, there becomes more of a division there, right? So there's a lot of people in Silicon Valley who work in these tech industries who are very uncomfortable with the fact, and in universities as well, that now they are, you know, receiving all this money from, you know, the Defense Department, the Pentagon, what have you, and now, you know, the result of their work is being used to bomb these people in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, places like that. But then this other group of people who really want to try to start to position technology through a different lens, and to say that, you know, they are not aiding the military-industrial complex, they are not aiding, you know, the U.S. government to, you know, do its foreign wars and stuff like that. Actually, they are working on technologies that are designed to empower the individual, you know, that are going to change the world in these different ways.
At the same time as the tech sector is moving in that direction, so are a few hippies. 750,000 hippies, actually. Mostly white, middle-class young adults who, in the late 60s, left the cities and suburbs in droves and headed straight for California, Colorado, and New Mexico to establish collective communes.
The aggressive determination of hippies to start a new society has made its mark upon San Francisco's hate actor.
While the hippies generally opposed technology, the idea of a utopia founded on decentralized communication that flooded the pages of the Whole Earth catalog was actually appealing to them too. Most famously, it appealed to people like Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
God, look at that. Look, I'm on television. Hey. Isn't that amazing?
This is what happens if you don't have a structural critique. This is why materialism is so important, you know? And genuinely why, like, actually, like, Hassan's commentary is so important. The fact that Hassan has a materialist worldview and is arguing, like, for structural change of capitalism is critically important. We can't just be building like a better capitalism. That's not the path forward. And for a lot of my life, like, that was like the most you could get from anybody on TV, anybody who had any like actual voice or actual like following. Like, you would get a better version of capitalism, you know, free healthcare, stuff like that.
Yeah, it is.
Before starting Apple, Jobs was one of these hippies. He spent time at an apple farm turned commune during the countercultural revolution, coming of age in the era of hippie culture and tech's resistance to Vietnam at the same time. It's probably why Jobs called the Whole Earth catalog
One of the Bibles of my generation.
But this wasn't just happening with a few people here and there. By 1995, these beliefs had basically become the official ideology of Silicon Valley. So much so that in a special issue of Time magazine called Welcome to
Lord of the Guys, thank you so much for the 5 months. Appreciate you.
Cyberspace, Stuart Brand, the guy behind the Whole Earth catalog.
By the way, welcome in Hasanabi heads, everybody who came in from the Hasanabi stream. Also, we see you. Mods, I need you to take down every viewer that's just joined in the last 45 minutes. You are being added to the Gooner list. Yeah, I'm never gonna look at you the same. Okay, all of you. Yeah. All of you Gooners. Okay, I know exactly who you are. We have your names and we're writing them down. All right? Okay? The Gooners. What is this?
There is not a single dissenting voice with his fucking straight up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic, fucking pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-terrorism takes. This is fringe, psychotic shit that is not normal. And
Okay. That's insane. Vekanon, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you. That is insane. I came from Maple's chat. Don't lump me in with those sickos. Okay, all right, okay. Well, welcome in, Maple Takes chatters. What's a gooner? You're a gooner. No, I'm just kidding. Gooning. Here, let me let our good friend Norm Finkelstein.
Gooner.
Let me let Norm Finkelstein explain gooning to you.
Cultural thing in the terms of culture right now, we're in a model of what you might call competitive capitalism, where you have just these tiny units, a Mars of You here, a compact magazine here, the Drift there. There are 10,000 little units out there. It's like the era of competitive capitalism. And oddly enough, in my era, it was the era of monopoly capitalism, which is to say, in cultural affairs, you had very defined precincts. You had the so.
When are we getting to the gooning? When does he talk about gooning in this?
Times in my day was called the newspaper of record, and part of being the newspaper of record was you had to preserve a certain kind of dignity. And right now, the Times has completely jettisoned any.
Fuck.
The New York Times has no dignity.
I don't know if they coined it or whether it's a common.
Oh yeah, here we go.
The expression is gooning, Gooning.
Grooming or gooning?
Gooning, Gooning. It means basically being transfixed with porn, video porn, for like 24 or 48 hours straight. If straight's the right word there.
This is all you motherfuckers.
And it struck
all you motherfuckers right now watching the Hasanabi broadcast tonight.
But it struck me that even though this crowd considered itself bohemian, and even though this crowd considered itself, what would you say, anti-establishment, it struck me this was exactly the crowd that would go over to fascism.
The Gooners, be careful, Gooners. Fascism is around the corner and you're gonna fall right into it. Yeah. This is the crowd, the Gooners in my chat. We're watching you. I'm keeping an eye out. Yeah, you better be freaking careful.
Celebrated his movement's victory over tech culture with an article he titled,
Nah, but for real, whoever did Grand's plastic surgery deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. I think they deserve a medal. They deserve to be put on magazines, like Time Magazine Person of the Year. You know what I mean? Like they need their cake and they need their flowers.
Owe it all to the hippies. This is the rosy history of cyber-libertarianism, an unproblematic gathering of engineers and hippies promoting computers, rejecting tyranny, and becoming the heralds of a new generation that somehow married engineering brilliance with social justice. It's a telling history that certainly explains why cyber-libertarianism can be a convincing political ideology. It promotes justice, self-organization, and crucially sells its participants, those who live and work in Silicon Valley proper, on the opportunity to become a successful high-tech entrepreneur making money doing the right thing. But it's a history that, for all the mention of hippie social justice, completely ignores politics and who cyber-libertarianism really benefits. Remember Reagan?
Come on, bro, she's natty.
In 1989, he was fully on board with cyber-libertarianism too. At a speech in London's Guildhall, he said, quote, "The Goliath of totalitarianism will be brought down by the David of the microchip. More than armies, more than diplomacy, more than the best intentions of democratic nations, the communications revolution will be the greatest force for the advancement of human freedom the world has ever seen." 6 years later, so was Clinton. his administration went a step further towards realizing the cyber-libertarian utopia, shuttering the NSF-net, the public...
This video is great. It's a lot less about Elon than I thought it would be. He's going after the heart of like Silicon Valley ideology rather than like talking about Elon Musk's like personal ideological history.
Internet and turning it over to private companies. And 1 year after that, a cyber-libertarian manifesto, John Perry Barlow's Declaration of the Independence of Cyberspace, was written and published. Not just on the internet, mind you, at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. For a movement pitching itself as a revolutionary counterculture at the vanguard of true freedom, this kind of institutional support from Reagan, Clinton, and the world's wealthiest individuals might seem a bit odd. But it's not. And you can see why in Barlow's manifesto. Of course, there's the usual cyber-libertarian stuff about unbounded communication and free speech absolutism, but the message that is constantly reinforced is that governments are bad.
With his fucking straight-up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic, fucking pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-terrorism takes, this is fringe, psychotic shit that is not normal. And it is the only acceptable voice on Twitch. Explain that to me. How is there not one...
See? Real streaming legend. Me, I do music, in case you didn't know. I'm here, as you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul, in case you were...
Bueno, muy bien, a festejar entonces. ¿Vos sos chilena también?
No, soy argentina.
Ah, Argentina, pero no te he escuchado.
Ahí va, psicóloga.
¿Vivís acá en Uruguay?
Vivo en Uruguay.
¿Y cómo está Uruguay?
Y bueno, hay que cambiar.
¿Por qué hay que cambiar?
Acompañando a la familia.
Bueno, muy bien, a festejar entonces. ¿Vos sos chilena también?
No, soy argentina.
Ah, Argentina, pero no te he escuchado.
Ahí va, psicóloga.
¿Vivís acá en Uruguay?
Vivo en Uruguay.
¿Y cómo está Uruguay?
Y bueno, hay que cambiar.
¿Por qué hay que cambiar?
Acompañando a la
over race and class differences rather than integrating them into their vision of justice. What you were left with was a semi-political ideology that advocated individual pleasure and an abstract anti-government message without many more details than that. Freedom in the hippie counterculture just meant freedom from government oversight of any sort, democratic or otherwise. And this really appealed to cyber-libertarians who were looking for a way to reject government tyranny, but still keep the privileges they got from their comfortable status in the capitalist hierarchy. And it clicked perfectly with Reagan's rabidly anti-government rhetoric. Coming at it from this different angle, making his rich buddies richer, a progressive coat of paint. While cyber-libertarianism could adopt the aesthetics of rebellious progressivism thanks to the hippies, it could also, without ideological contradiction, be completely compatible with the neoliberal definition of freedom, the idea that coercion is something only the state can do. Neoliberals could look progressive, and tech companies could get the government's support with neither side needing to compromise on any of their principles thanks to the idea that technology was a magical fix for any political problem. And the effect of this harmony between a vague definition of freedom but radical aesthetics is that it takes perfectly reasonable progressives who would otherwise be completely...
I don't know what that is, so no.
...reforms and the dismantling of useful public government services and tricks them into embracing neoliberal politics by dressing it up in the language of digital freedom. But the thing is that all of this is bullshit. Neoliberalism and its cyber-libertarian variant has never been about getting rid of government, just twisting it to suit corporate purposes.
Yeah.
It's never been about promoting freedom and free speech, just equating free speech with corporate power to protect capitalists from democratic scrutiny. It's never been about getting rid of government services in the public interest, just ridding capitalists of the responsibility to pay the taxes that make them possible. And no place is more emblematic of these truths than Silicon Valley. Elon Musk rails about the evils of government, but is very much looking forward to taking on a leading role in it under Trump, and regularly accepts billions in government subsidies. Google's leadership revolves in and out of government roles in organizations like the NSA. ARPANET, the foundation of the
CR, you followed tonight, right? Welcome in.
government and public research university-run project for years before being sold for parts. The US government pours billions of dollars into buying planes, missiles, electronics, and nuclear bombs from Californian companies, and all the infrastructure that makes Californian society possible had to be created by state projects. There is no internet without
Oh wow, thank you so much for the gifted.
quote-unquote intervention, and digital space can never be divorced from physical space. The rhetorical divide is just tech billionaires trying to carve out areas where they can be as tyrannical as they want to be. Musk preaches free speech from every rooftop, but since he's taken over Twitter, he's had his engineers boost his own tweets by a factor of 1,000, complied with more government censorship requests than Twitter used to, launched defamation lawsuits against those whose speech casts him in a negative light, arbitrarily suspended left-wing users and journalist Twitter accounts, and throttled links to news sites he doesn't like the New York Times.
They don't actually care about free speech. Let's be
no shit.
From the start. What they are interested in is ensuring that people on the right and people on the far right, people who have very bigoted opinions, people who have very clear racists.
Yeah, we should also nationalize Twitter.
And say and will not feel any degree of pushback or consequences for that.
Under the cover of decentralized networks and open source tech,
his actions with regards to Twitter, actually, I feel like no American billionaire has wielded their power and used it so blatantly. Just I'm rich and this is allowed. Obviously a lot of American billionaires have wielded their power and affected American politics for generations. This has always been happening. But to this degree, to just Rockefeller, yeah, you might be right with that, because didn't he buy a bunch of newspapers and shit? I mean, it's basically that, yeah. even Bezos and them, yeah, Rockefeller did it harder than anyone. Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, but it's this new era of just buying a social media platform and then manipulating the algorithm to your will and changing the nature of the website to such an incredible degree has been quite a shock to see and quite interesting,
Libertarians like Elon Musk paper over the fact that their wealth, connections, power, and control over our lives completely dwarf the small amount of power any one of us has. Creating these online spaces without democratic
I don't remember that.
Opportunity to disguise their power trip as free speech, and it's always been intended
welcome in, Sketchy.
As such. In the Cyphernomicon, another one of these cyber-libertarian founding texts, Timothy May doesn't mince words about this. Cyber-libertarians are...
By the way, chat, it is 9:11 right now, 9:11 p.m. So make sure you take that opportunity to consider gifting a sub. We can't run ads on the channel even if we wanted to. But, for $5.99 or for free with the Twitch Prime, you can support the channel and make leftist spaces like this on this platform more possible, like Lord of the Flies 420 just did. Thank you for the 5 community gifted subs. Also, I have a conspiracy. Oh, there we go. I was just gonna say I have a conspiracy theory that these motherfuckers turned off Hype Train on my channel, but there we go. We got a Hype Train right now. Well, let's go. Thank you for starting the Hype Train.
Explicitly anti-democratic. They want a space where they make the rules and can wield their privilege however they want. And what they want is to keep their power. And the best way to do that is to keep insisting that they are the true defenders of freedom and distract from all the awful problems we know come from tech billionaires. Instead, they'll now pin the blame for all society's ills on those without power. Elon is fully obsessed with the white nationalist declining birth rates in the West thing, and by all accounts has turned Twitter into an unusable Nazi safe space. He is one of the loudest voices against immigration and a huge fan of all the associated racist dog whistles. This racism, too, has been part of cyber-libertarian thoughts.
Partisan! 5 subscribers! Thank you for the 5 gifted sub. Thank you, thank you. By the way, if you get gifted a sub, it's a great thing. I'm trying to get 70-30 right now, a 70-30 split of my revenue. I'm currently at a 60-40 split. In order to get 70-30, I have to get 300 sub points for 3 months in a row. And I'm right on the line, chat. So if you've been gifted a sub, you can help me. You can help the channel a lot if you gift 1 sub on top of that. Like if you got gifted this month, but you can afford to gift a sub, gifting 1 sub on top of your gifted, it'll say like paying it forward or something like that, and that counts for the for that thing. So
given 17 gift subs
the beginning.
You know, I was talking.
Oh yeah, I know all about Musk's like breeding thing.
About how, you know, it's not a new industry. It emerges from World War II and the Cold War, but there was the foundations of it long before that in the Bay Area. Stanford University, you know, its first president was a eugenicist, a very prominent one. And these ideas have been promoted at Stanford University for a very long time, and it was one of the hotbeds of eugenic thought, you know, for years.
Versalium, thank you for paying forward your sub. That is exactly what I was talking about, baby. Thank you.
Again, in the Cybernomicon, May asks if the cyber-libertarian vision for the internet will help racists, and he's pretty enthusiastically cheering on the idea that yes, it would. The Aryan nation in Germany could use a privatized, deregulated, decentralized internet to organize. For May, these are just a group.
Got your nuts. Thank you for the 500 bits.
Appreciate from the local majority, and so reducing democratic oversight of their genocidal ideology is the same thing as freedom. Cyber-libertarians don't think historical baggage matters, but it is a fact that wealth and privilege accumulate. Racism and sexism are built into our societies and institutions. We can fight that, politically, but that would involve democratic processes and the government. And anything that makes those things more legitimate is a threat to tech billionaires.
You look like a person with a lot of power and influence. You look like an ancient pharaoh or something, sir. Can we get a stance? No stance? Just a look? Just a stone cold look? Looks like he's putting me on a list to finish me off, guys. If I disappear by tomorrow, save this face and don't ever forget, sir. Did you have a stroke? Are you able to speak? No talking? Are you gonna cry?
You're disturbing me if you don't know.
I'm sorry.
You're disturbing me.
I'm disturbing you?
You're disturbing me.
TMZ disturbs people, you know, it's a business, not personal. I know you don't.
You're disturbing my privacy.
I'm sorry, sir. Have a lovely evening.
You do.
I know, I'm sorry.
Just stay here, I'll call the police and want the arrest.
They can come.
Okay.
I'm TMZ, sir.
I don't care who you are. You have no right to bother me.
This is a public space. As long as I'm not starting a fight, I'm with...
I love that guy.
Excuse me, fine sirs. I'm with the...
What do you mean, Nick?
Go away.
What do you mean, Nick?
Get out! Get out!
Oh!
What did you say, Morris?
I've been told!
Suck, man. What's the sucker that you need? Oh, here we go. Fucking hell. Hit him. Really hit him. Yeah. Hold up, chat.
Damn. Oh, 0 follower.
We need to take like all of it. You talk to cause they fed and they be counterfeits. Oh, Theo Broma. That's so great. I have jury duty that day. Watch it in the lobby and they'll never choose you. Watch that in the lobby and then you will be let go. It's very easy.
Sometimes I feel like Karl Marx, but I would
fuck you talking about, nigga? Take it. Yeah, nigga, fuck hoops, nigga. Nigga, Warland Compton though. Nigga. Crip, nigga, fuck hoops, nigga. Fuck hoops, nigga. Fuck hoops, nigga. Warland Crip, nigga. Fuck hoops and they dead homies, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga? Take it. Yeah, nigga, fuck hoops, nigga. Nigga, Warland Compton though. Nigga. Crip, nigga, fuck hoops, nigga. Fuck hoops, nigga.
VI rule IV. Let's go with the 5 gifted. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chat, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm trying to do right here. See this? If you're on my stream, you see that? November, help me reach partner +2. It says 250 out of 300. I need to get to 300. We got it.
Yeah.
Solidarity could make it stop.
So hit your fucking cop with the bonky bonk.
To the front with a juxtaposition. It's guns versus jugs, that's just a juxtaposition. Just so you know, I brought some veggies and a can of beans. Now we got the water and
Super Dark, thank you for paying forward your sub. Thank you. You have a playlist for this? No, I just play them off of the YouTube. I'll definitely link this one and Praxis too, though. By the way, chat, this one, Die Happy remix. This is No Shoe and Die Happy Music, who is a chatter, who is a person in the stream. We love Die Happy Music. He's been one of my longest time fans. Making these absolute fire beats, bro.
give me some gas. Ooh, if you wake up like me, then shake that ass. Go ahead and shake that ass. Ooh, if you wake up.
One in chat if you're shaking your ass to this right now.